when you talk about game changers and game managers.
Talk to me. Don't bring that back out.
You have to.
Yeah.
When you talk about game changers and game managers, all the game changers lie in the AFC.
Hold on now. So are you saying there are no game changers in the NFC?
No, there's no game changers in the NFC. Name the game changers, Cam. Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow. And if I had to say a close, another game changer, C.J. Stroud.
Cam,
I said what I said, Stephen A.
I don't know what's wrong with you. I don't know what's wrong with you. You know, because he messed up his argument, in my opinion, when he brought up C.J. Stroud. Yeah. C.J. Stroud is a stud, young stud,
no doubt.
Incredible promise. We know that. Nothing but the highest ceiling for him. I think he'll be a champion one day. But because he brought up C.J. Stroud, then how come you can't bring up Jordan Love? How come you can't bring up Matthew Stafford, who, by the way, is a Super Bowl champion? And when Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp are in the lineup with this brother, we know what kind of things that he's capable of doing. The Rams will instill fear in a bunch of brothers because of what they can bring to the table offensively. I'm saying if you're going to mention those other cats, all right, Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, okay, I think that's a different class. But when you brought up C.J. Stroud, then you can't tell me you can't mention nobody in the NFC East.
Yeah, you got to bring up Jordan Love and you got to bring up Matt Stafford. First of all, starting with the guy in L.A., this is a future Hall of Famer and a guy that is a champion. And, oh, by the way, we've seen what they did after starting 1-4. Now that team is in the driver's seat in the NFC West. And lest we not forget, 2 weeks ago, you outdueled the presumptive MVP in a performance where Josh Allen had 6 touchdowns. Matt Stafford had the higher passer rating. So how are you going to say Matt Stafford ain't a game? Absolutely.
Well, don't look at me.
World.
Look at Cam.
Well,
look at Cam. I don't know what's wrong with it. I don't know what's wrong with it right now.
You got to square that circle for me with that one. Then Jordan, when it comes to the Jordan Love of it all, this dude has won 4 of the last 5 games. Since the halfway point of the season, since week 10, he's tied for the most touchdown passes with Josh Allen. He is,
and he shows up in the second half.
He's second in QBR, and he leads the league in yards per attempt. So how can you not say that Jordan Love and Matt Stafford aren't game changers?
Cam, defend yourself. Let's go.
I think too many times in sports and even in media, people straddle the fence.
What?
I'm not a fence straddler. I've chose my side. And when I make my takes and I say game changer and game manager, that's the top of the spear. That's the tip of the spear. That's the top tier talent in the NFL. And yes, do I think Jordan Love is a good player? Hell yeah. Do I think Matthew Stafford is a Hall of Famer, first ballot? Hell yeah. But that doesn't mean that you get to say that they're game changers. There's only a certain amount of game changers. Okay, if it's not a game changer, if you want to put him there, what's elite then?
All right,
game
what the hell is C.J. Stroud compared to a Jordan Love?
I said if you wanted to throw somebody, if you wanted to throw somebody, I said if you wanted to throw somebody, if you're taking my words for every word, Stephen, you have to understand. If you want to throw somebody else in there, that's pending, that's right on the fence. I said C.J. Stroud. Game changer. There's not a lot of game changers in the game, and people have to understand my take on that. That's the top.
All right,
can we pull up the names
when Jared Goff was in L.A., they moved him out of L.A., they brought in Matthew Stafford, they got a Super Bowl champion. Is that not game changing? I mean, am I missing something, Cam Newton? Is that not game changing? I mean, all he did was roll up in there and win a Super Bowl title.
Hold on. Stephen A., you have to understand that was a different roster that the Los Angeles Rams gave Matthew Stafford rather than Jared Goff. So I understand what you're saying, bro. I understand when you even mention, Russell Wilson and certain things about winning Super Bowls. Bro, understand the roster, too. Now, there's a lot of things, and Chris, you know this better than anybody. There's a lot of people that support the whole show that will never be mentioned. You need lighting. You need curtains. You need people that's just going to do their job. And those are role players. And who gets all the credit? The person that's on the stage, a la the quarterback. So I'm not sitting up here saying that, yes, Matthew Stafford won a Super Bowl, but Matthew Stafford also had a roster that Jared Goff didn't have. You had
Okay, well, Cam, if we talk about rosters now, what about Jordan Love? This brother won a playoff game with the youngest roster to win a playoff game in the last half century. The last 50 years.
Yeah,
it was Dallas.
50 years.
He says Dallas.
Hold on. Time out. Let me get in here. What if we were to change the word from game changer to elite?
Oh, that's different.
Right?
Thank you.
That's what. Hold on, let me finish. And that is what Cam means. So when I talk about elite quarterbacks, I wish I had a full screen. And Mahomes, Lamar, Allen, Burrow.
No.
But wait, let me finish.
You can top the list.
Wait, those are the guys that are elite, and that's what he's saying. And then C.J. Stroud is on the fence. And I know this hasn't been his greatest year, but we saw what C.J. Stroud did last year. There's a lot of injuries on his team, especially at the receiver position. So I think we're mincing words. He's saying elite, like when we used to say Tom Brady, Peyton Manning.
Yeah. Elite quarterbacks is it's Lamar Jackson, it's Patrick Mahomes, it's Josh Allen. We could chop Joe Burrow off that list. We ain't putting him in that list. We're not doing that. He's not in that territory.
What?
So let's not do that.
What?
Let's not do that. We're not doing that.
No.
I should send you down the hall to be tested right now.
We're not doing that.
Something wrong with you,
We're not doing that.
But why?
We're not doing that.
Yes, we all do that.
We're not doing that. We're not doing that.
Cam, go ahead. Cam.
Joe Burrow's beat a lot of elite talent.
Joe Burrow's team got a losing record, and he played in all the games this season.
Stop doing that. We have to stop doing that. We have to stop doing that. And I'm sorry, but I have to you have to understand that everybody has to say and look at it through this lens. There's so many different determining factors in football. And it's just not when a person does his job, sometimes in football, it's still not enough. Joe Burrow has done everything
Cam, I'm not going to let you do this, bro. I'm not going to let you do this. I watched the game against the Kansas City Chiefs early in the season where Joe Burrow had a sack fumble and they ran it back for a touchdown. That was the pivot point in that game. I watched the game in Cincinnati against the Ravens where he threw a pick that opened the door for the Baltimore Ravens to win that football game in overtime. I got eyes. I see the same thing. So stop saying he's elite. He's not elite. Whenever you've seen Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes playing all the games in their team season and their team be on the outside looking into the playoffs or their team have a losing record. No, it don't happen. Why? Because those dudes are elite. Joe Burrow's a game changer, phenomenal player, absolutely. He's not elite.
All right, I'm told we got to go, guys. I got to hit the top of the hour. But guess what? We got a fresh hour first take coming up live, so you guys can keep getting after it. Still to come. Should the Cowboys run it back with the same squad next year? Southern Steve can't wait to dive into this one. Plus, Mahomes will get the nod tomorrow versus the Texans, but find out why someone here says it is a
Eagles Nest News. The road to the playoffs is wide open for the Philadelphia Eagles. Welcome back, Eagles fans. The 2024 NFL season has been a thrilling ride, and as the Philadelphia Eagles head into the final stretch of the regular season, it's clear that this team is on a mission. From a shaky start, splitting the first 4 games of the year, to an impressive 10-game win streak, the Eagles have shown what they are truly capable of. Now, with only 3 games left before the playoffs, they are in prime position to finish strong and potentially secure the number 1 seed in the NFC. But before we get ahead of ourselves, let's break down what's at stake for the Eagles as they finish the regular season. Can they hold off the Detroit Lions for that coveted top spot? Who will they face in the playoffs? And how will their final 3 games shake out, with the NFC East rivalry on the line? Eagles versus Washington Commanders, a crucial matchup. The first challenge on the Eagles' playoff quest is none other than the Washington Commanders. Coming off their own bye in Week 14, the Commanders have been on a bit of a roll, winning their last 2 games. They've had a strong rushing attack, with Jaden Daniels and Brian Robinson Jr. leading the charge, and the Eagles will have their hands full with that dynamic backfield. However, let's not forget that the Eagles have been just as dominant, especially when it comes to their offense, spearheaded by Jalen Hurts and Saquon Barkley. The Eagles have already proven their mettle against Washington earlier this season, securing a win with Barkley putting up a solid performance on the ground. With injuries hitting the Commanders' defense, including star players like Jonathan Allen on IR, it's hard to see them stopping the Eagles' balanced offense. If the Eagles play like they did in their Week 11 matchup, expect another win to help them solidify their playoff position. Saquon Barkley's pursuit of history. One of the most exciting storylines this season has been Saquon Barkley's pursuit of Eric Dickerson's all-time rushing record. While Week 15 saw a minor setback, Barkley is still very much in the race. The Commanders' rushing defense has been a bit leaky, ranking 25th in the league, and if Barkley can exploit that, he could be back on track to break the record in the final 3 games. Expect another big performance from the Eagles' star back as they look to finish the season on a high note. Jalen Hurts versus Jaden Daniels, the quarterback showdown. In Week 16, all eyes will be on the quarterback battle between Jalen Hurts and Washington's Jaden Daniels. Hurts has had a solid season, even if the passing game hasn't always been as explosive as fans might like. However, when Hurts has needed to make plays, he's delivered, and with the Eagles' defense being the best in the NFL at limiting passing yards, it's hard to bet against Hurts. While Daniels has been impressive for Washington, especially in the running game, Hurts has the experience and the weapons to outshine him in this pivotal NFC East matchup. The Eagles are ready for the challenge. With 3 NFC East games remaining, the Eagles are in control of their destiny. They've proven they can beat tough teams, and with a balanced offense and a stingy defense, they have all the tools to make a deep playoff run. If they can keep up their momentum, there is no reason why the Eagles can't finish as the number 1 seed in the NFC and make a run for the Super Bowl. What do you think? Will the Eagles make it to the top? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe to Eagles Nest News for more updates and analysis on all things Philadelphia Eagles. Fly, Eagles, fly.